Guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. A lot has happened literally in the last 24 hours, and we now have a lot of updates for you. What in the world's going on with Team Furia? What's their plan? What's happened with Team Moist? A little bit of an update to their team name, not too much there, but also dropped giving an explanation for OpTic Gaming leaving the Apex scene. What's going on with FaZe Clan? What's going on with the FaZe spot and their roster with Zera and Panners? Like I said, a lot to really dive into and discuss in today's video. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of ALGS news, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into it. Or go to apexglobalseries.com. That's my website where I've been posting a lot of these articles and stuff as well. But first off, let's go with the Scrims Oversight Pro Series. You had block one. This was Team Aurora. Loving this because obviously the heavy hitting squad coming from the EMEA region, a lot of expectation behind them, but are they actually going to, correlate that on a global level? Well, obviously in this Pro Series, they did. Unfortunately, once again, two teams missing, and just always got to make mention of that. Also, Legacy down at the bottom is not the usual, but of course things happen like this whenever you have contest and so many other things going on. But Dark Zero in second, 2R1C in third, Oxygen in fourth, and Reject Winity in fifth. Then you move over to block two. You've got Space Station winning in their block, Group C versus D as well. And this Heaven Apex and Furia in third place, BR Demons in fourth, and Fnatic in fifth. Of course, TSM in sixth, and then definitely not Moist in seventh. Now, what was interesting of this is, of course, this Furia roster that we're about to discuss pretty quickly, but we've got a lot to discuss regarding teams, organizations, rosters in general. 100 Thieves posted, 100 Thieves Apex is back. And of course, there's been a lot of, talk about 100 Thieves. Are they going to come back into ALGS? Are they going to come back into Apex in general? Of course, they do have some Apex content creators, but where's the ALGS team? Now, we do hope that eventually they will return. There's been OpTic Gaming leaving recently, but we do have another one that's going to be stepping back in, as well as Team Legacy got some announcements as well. And here you have it. So Team Legacy has now changed their name to Liquid Alienware. And if you haven't seen this already, basically I posted a little bit of an article earlier today, or actually just a regular post, because there's really not much to dive into. We did kind of expect that this was going to happen a couple of weeks back, but sadly nothing really came about it. Then eventually we got more into the conversations. Oh, maybe it'll be FaZe, maybe it'll be OpTic, maybe they just want to sign a team that's actually going to land. No, not the case at all. Team Liquid did finally come into the scene, and thankfully they are signing Team Legacy. So, it looks like maybe they're going to partner up with another company here in order to make this work, and that's fair play. Honestly, I think that needs to be done more often so that we can actually make this esport a little bit more sustainable. But very excited for Legacy, obviously, to get their opportunity that they most definitely deserve. Also, though, Moist Esports has officially changed their name, and the name I'm assuming they will be competing at land with is actually not Moist. So really love that they were able to do this, because it's kind of like a tip, it's kind of like a kudos to Moist Esports itself. So really like they were still able to go this way, because it kind of feels like it's still Moist Esports. So that's the way we were kind of hoping it would go. Really nice to see that that's happening as well. Then you got some big news coming from HisWattson. They did do the stream, and of course we predicted this in yesterday. Many others had predicted this as well, but HisWattson is going to be stepping down from the Furia roster, and Vaxlon is going to be stepping in. HisWattson had posted on Twitter, "I'm stepping down from Furia permanently. Lots of reasons, but the simplest thing is that I don't enjoy it, and competing in Apex Legends isn't what's best for me and people around me. Financially, it doesn't make sense because it was heavily cutting it." Basically, just to sum it up, content creation makes more money. He has probably more freedom. It's a lot less stressful. And just in general, he felt like that was the way he needs to go in life. And it's totally respectable. Of course, everybody's got an opinion about it. But he also went on video, went on live stream to say, here's exactly the reason. Here's what's going on. So roll the clip.
And I tell my manager, I'm like, after LAN, I'm done. And I'm only going to play till LAN because I don't want to just leave my team. It's affecting my content stuff. It's affecting, I'm having a hard time with my social life because scrims are from 3 p.m. We would get on at 3 p.m. and play until 10:30. How are you supposed to have a social life? If you work second shift, I feel so bad for you. How are you supposed to do anything if you work from 3 p.m. to 10, 11? It didn't feel fair to my teammates, especially when Vaxlon is sitting on the side and he would love to play, for example. He would just love to play, and for me it's just not. There's just other things I'd rather do.
So, of course, after this, many people were happy for Vax. Obviously, he deserved this spot to begin with. It was a weird situation going into it. Vax was obviously playing some of his best and already there was playing good in general. We knew they were going to get picked up by an organization, but the way it had to work with Furia, that was the opportunity that presented itself. They had to go with Watson, and things honestly didn't even go that bad. just, you know, obviously if Wattson's going to step out, Vax is the perfect person to make this happen. And I'm glad he did so. Kind of surprised though, because you'll notice that they're looking for an emergency sub as well. Madness had posted that they're in search of an emergency sub. So it's not even Wattson playing as an emergency sub at this point. So really goes to show you how committed he is to that spot in his life now. So really hope the best for him. Obviously he's got a long record obviously in the Apex scene over the last couple of years that he has played, a lot of accomplishments and a lot of stories around his name as well. So we appreciate everything he's contributed to the scene. Once again, you know, everybody's got an opinion, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we still love HisWattson, but that's where the state of Furia is right now. Also wanted to mention FaZe did come out to say that they are parting ways with 2 members of their Apex Legends roster. Now this is where things get tricky. Panders and Zera have basically been let go, or, you know, they parted ways with FaZe clan. However, the FaZe spot is still in control of Panders and Zera, right? So you'll see FaZe on the battle fight. Doesn't mean FaZe clans are necessarily behind it. That's just where the spot was, and those guys are still associated with that team, and you'll see that team name probably change from FaZe to something else soon, but it's still these guys behind it, right? Then you see Scurry. Look at this. Scurry has joined Team FaZe. So it looks like Scurry might get, you know, associated with Zera, might get associated with Panders as well, and those guys might make a run inside of Pro League qualifiers. Honestly, I think they would probably fare pretty well, but like I said, don't get too caught up in the FaZe name itself. And I'm still trying to understand where exactly Snipe is in all of this. I think he had said somewhere on stream that he's actually not even associated fully with FaZe. That's what Reddit was saying anyways. Not 100% sure if it's true, but of course we're trying to wait and see what Snipe Down's going to do. He did make mention on my post yesterday that he was just buckling down. He was trying to keep his head down, and he's just going to become the best individual player that he can during the off season that he will be back, it seems. So very interested to see where that goes as well. But for now, you could look for Scurry to be added to the FaZe. I love that ALGS transactions feature that he added. Now we can follow these roster changes a lot easier. Lastly, just so we wrap the video up, of course, we saw in the tweet yesterday coming from Drop that OpTic Gaming wanted to simply part ways with the Apex scene, but we didn't really know the full scene behind that. Now Drop came out on a stream earlier, and Alpha Intel had reported that OpTic Gaming is no longer a part of Apex Legends esports, not just because they dropped their roster, but because they are choosing to be. And Drop said that they just didn't want to stay in Apex any longer. Really sad stuff to lose a big organization like that in our scene, but here's what he had to say. Roll the clip.
Yeah, I mean, essentially OpTic just didn't want to stay in Apex. They didn't want to stay in Apex anymore. I mean, we didn't really know anything about it until today, and they basically told us, like, you know, at 5 p.m. we're going to be announcing it, and we were like, damn, okay. And yeah, that was that. I mean, it pretty much everything happened today. We didn't know anything about it before today. It's not like we've known for a little while. Like, nah, we just knew it today, and they just told us they didn't want to be in Apex anymore, and that was it. I mean, it's unfortunate, man. And I mean, I like specifically asked that, like, you know, because yeah, that's what I thought too, is like the partnered, you know, team stuff. I was like, you know, that partnered EA partnered team thing wasn't enough to keep OpTic in the game, and they told me no, it wasn't enough to keep him in the game.
So lastly, just so we wrap the video up, want to let you guys know also that Slayers is going to be looking for a team. He posted earlier LFT for Pro League Split 2. Of course, former E6. And, you know, E6 got acquired by EXO and K-Swinny. And, you know, all these roster changes are starting to happen. And, of course, we're going to keep you up to date right here on the channel as well. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports news, and, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, we will see you all later, Gators.